phone went and made sounds a couple of games ago. So it was just like a classic.
There was a guy who enjoyed that, actually.
What?
I thought it was funny.
I thought it was really funny.
At the moment, I panicked a lot, like in the second.
You're like, why? What's this?
Oh, fuck, what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, you see that on radio and something would happen that you're not sure. You're like, what is happening right now? And you're like, oh. Easily fixed.
And with my day job, I'm used to things being like, if something goes wrong, it's potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars. Not, uh-oh, that was a funny thing.
Well, it's kind of like construction when you have to like work with like super expensive equipment.
Yeah.
And you're like the one that's on the hook for it.
Yeah.
I remember because I took construction in high school and we did that like for the whole one semester. And we had this one piece of wood that was like hundreds of dollars to get like this one cut or something. The teacher was like, well, I'm going to do this because you guys aren't going to screw this one up.
Players to Watch is brought to you Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Frigate.
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike the FA.
Good evening and welcome to the Powassan Sportsplex as we bring you the Powassan Voodoos versus
the Hearst Lumberjacks, a rematch from the first round of the NOJHL playoffs last year, in which the Hearst Lumberjacks won that series in 6 games, although the home team did not have the advantage in any of those games, as basically Hearst won all their games on the road and the Voodoos won all their games on the road. And same with this season as well. I'm Courtney Kenny. He's Ben Sargent, and we might as well hop right into our players to watch. Ben, who are we looking for in this game?
Yeah, so if we look at the Powassan Voodoos, we're looking at Caden Long, who's had he got the overtime winner in their last game against French River, in a game that, after destroying Sudbury at home 8-1, playing a team that is quite a bit weaker than Sudbury overall, as Sudbury's the top team right now in the entire league. They find themselves in a 4-4 deadlock going into overtime, and Caden Long getting the overall point and one of the 3 stars on the NOJHL's Players of the Week, with 5 points altogether between the Sudbury and the French River game.
So in previous games this year, this is the second meeting, which is wild to think. They're both in the East, although they played Sudbury's in the West, but Sudbury's a lot closer geographically.
Yeah.
They played Sudbury so many times this year. This is only the second meeting between the Lumberjacks, or as some people call them, the L-Jacks, apparently, between these two teams. And in the first game, the Voodoos they knocked off the Lumberjacks 2-1 in Hearst on October 29th. Tucker Shields netted the overtime winner in that game, as the Voodoos took 6 points in total on a 3-game Northern swing. They also went on a 10-game winning streak from that swing. And then they fell 5-3 here on November 25th, as the Lumberjacks scored 3 times in the second period for the win and iced it with a late empty netter. So the Voodoos looking for a little bit of revenge here on home ice, but if the history has told us anything, home ice means nothing to these teams.
Yeah, exactly. And for the Lumberjacks, we've got to be looking at Zachary Demers, who's been an absolute heater so far. He's more than a 2-point-per-game player, 56 points in 35 games, and most of that coming off the assists. He has 42 assists, 14 goals, including 4 assists in their last game on the 14th against the Cochrane Crunch, where they destroyed Cochrane 10-2.
So coming into this game, the Voodoos sport a 26-11-1 record. They currently sit 5 points back of the Lumberjacks, who are 28-9-2. But the Voodoos do have 1 game in hand, so these are crucial 2 points on the table here tonight in Powassan. And really, again, we've talked about it on this broadcast, we've talked about it on our podcast. It's become a 3-team race in the East between Timmins, Hearst, and Powassan at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the top 3 team versus the bottom 3 teams in this division, there is a very, very wide gap there. And as you said, it's pretty much...
That's putting it lightly.
That's putting it very lightly. There is no way that 4th team is going to find its way into that top 3 unless something absolutely miraculous happens at the end of the season. They're starting to run out of time to make anything like that happen. But if you look at these 2 teams, you talk about how important this game is going to be, and realistically, you look at teams that are very similar. Like this isn't a game where Hearst is coming in and they're going to be a much better team. And we've seen what the Voodoos can do against really good teams like they did on Sudbury. And if you went into that game and you had no idea who was who, you would never guess that the Sudbury Cubs were like number 1. And the Voodoos were quite a bit lower than in the standings. The Voodoos played such a good game. Their last game at home ice, they dominated every aspect of it. In net, they had Don DeRiccolo, who played absolutely fantastic, didn't give up a goal until the 3rd period, and he just looked so strong. And it's going to be very interesting coming into tonight if they can keep that momentum going. Obviously, a bit of a hiccup in French River, still got away with the 2 points, but this is going to be such a crucial game. And the big thing is, play the same way you did against Sudbury.
Exactly. They were up 4-0 or 1-0, 14 seconds into the game. With a goal from Mitch Wilkie, who suffered a scary injury in that game. He is back tonight. He missed the game against French River, but he is in action here tonight. The first 5 goals of that game against Sudbury were scored by defensemen. 2 by Wilkie, 2 by Leotino, and 1 by McLean, who will not be in the lineup tonight. But still, at the same time, that's some great production from the back end. We are just getting ready now for the national anthems here at the Powassan Sportsplex, where we will take you to actually just momentarily as we get ready on the ice, and then we'll give you your starting goaltenders. We'll give you a bit of a hint right now. It's Cannon Flageau and Ethan Dinsdale. But here we are for O Canada, and please enjoy Tim Scarrow's rendition of the American and the Canadian national anthems.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly beheld at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket flag was still there. Oh, sailors that star-spangled banner yet wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command, car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix, ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard.
All right, we are ready for the opening puck drop, but we will give you your starting goaltenders here in net for the Hearst Lumberjacks. I'll let you know who they are. I just did actually before Canada, and then Ben can give you their stats. Ethan Dinsdale for the Lumberjacks and Cannon Flageau for the Powassan Voodoos.
Yeah, and Flageau actually just very recently committed to the NCAA Division III Suffolk University. So he said he was very excited about that opportunity. He's definitely deserved it. What a season he's had. He comes into this game with a .264 goals against average, 15-6 record, .916 save percentage. Both him and Drocolo have been absolutely fantastic, and you got to be happy. On the other side, Ethan Dinsdale, 15-5, .247 goals against average. Both these, this is going to be a goaltender clinic this evening. Hopefully we'll see some great saves, and you got to be happy if you're both these teams. It's going to be hard to score goals.
It will be for sure as we're underway, although we said that last week against the Cubs as well. And 14 seconds in, the Voodoos said, you guys are so-called experts, I guess.
Yeah, the Cubs did not have their goaltender work in that game.
Matavier, yeah, he had a rare off night for the Cubs. As the play is down in the first zone, quickly off the hop, the Voodoos in their home whites are going right to left. Hearst in their Philadelphia Flyers-themed road blacks are going left to right. Of course, Claude Giroux does own a part of the team. You would think they would have changed the Senators' colors this year.
Well, they did one thing right. It's the uniforms. They look very good.
They do, for sure. They've changed them a couple of times over the years, but that's for a podcast, rating jerseys in this league. So Leotino behind his net tries to get it up to the half wall to Service. They can't get it to go, and now it's back behind the net. Leotino has the puck once again, tries to get it back to Service. And now Hearst with Demers right in there battling for possession of the puck, but Service comes away with it. Tries to get it up to the blue line, and they finally get it out, although it looked a little haphazard at first, as now the puck's back into the Voodoo zone as Reed has it. Reed, or Palfy rather, battling behind the Voodoo's net for the puck, gets it over to this side of the ice, and now Service tries to send it back around behind his net. It's quickly out front, and that shot was batted towards the goal. Whether or not it hit Flageau, I have no idea. Back to Service. Service with a good shot up the ice to O'Brien. O'Brien battling for the puck, but he was just a step behind, and now the Lumberjacks have possession once again in their own zone. Puck sent up to the neutral zone for Klugerman. Klugerman's center ice pass hits Gazic as he was looking for Palfy. It never got to him. Now the Voodoos have possession as they try to slow things down in their own zone. Risman, the battalion pick, gets it to Lemke. Lemke gains the Lumberjacks zone. His attempt to gain the zone, though, he lost the puck, and now Hearst is battling for it once again. Shots 0-0 through the first 2 minutes so far of this game, so that shot did miss Flageau and miss the net. Lumberjacks try to send the puck up ice. They do. Palfy sends it in, then goes for a quick change. Ricci behind his net. Goes cross ice to Risman. Risman's pass doesn't get there as it hits the back of Flageau's net. And now it's on the near side wall. Gazic behind his net. Goes for a skate. Tries to get it up. He can't. Como battling for the puck. In the near side corner. He gets it to Risman. Risman goes cross ice. His pass missed Caden Long. One of the 3 stars, as Ben mentioned, of the NOJHL this week. And now it's Morton who gains the zone. Tries to get it in, and they couldn't get a center ice pass to go. Now Little, we'll have a little interesting tidbit on Little in a moment. Knocks the puck into the zone. And now it's Jack Kelly playing with the puck. Jack Kelly gets the puck around for Strinchuluk. Strinchuluk can't get to it. And now Hearst once again with possession in their own zone. Voodoos can't settle the puck down. Hearst all over them here early as they send the puck in. And it bounced off Lejeau. A second chance, just missed the net. Thompson gets it over to Little. Little up the ice quickly. Tries to get to Strinchuluk, and Thompson goes after it. Thompson behind the net of the Hearst zone. Battling with Strinchuluk. They battle so well they give it right back to Hearst. Hearst chasing the puck, trying to gain the Voodoos zone. They do. But now Shields has possession. Shields tries to stop up. He had the overtime winner back in October when these two teams met up in Hearst. Strinchuluk now skates the puck up ice, looking to go cross ice with the pass, and decides to chip it into the Lumberjacks zone. You're going to have to battle for each and every inch of this ice, it feels like, here tonight. Strinchuluk tries to go out front, can't get his pass to go. Leotino keeps the puck in, gets his shot in. Dinsdale makes the save. And Ben, why don't you tell us a little bit about Alex Little for the
before I
defenseman?
do this, I've got to make this comment because I was looking at who's the top scorers for the Voodoos are, and they made a misprint on Cameron Lemke and says he has 123 points instead of 12.
Hey,
so
yeah.
I don't know who's doing that, but he does not have 123 points.
I was going to say he's definitely
games.
more than a point a game player.
No, he's 12 points. But no, you look at Alex Little, what an absolute fantastic season. In fact, 22 points away from the all-time record for a defenseman from the Voodoos, which is pretty impressive since they've been in the league since 2014.
Yeah, and that's Dayton Murray who currently holds that record as the shot goes over to Ricci. His shot hits the deal. The Voodoos get it on the rebound. They're up 1-0 as the Voodoos are in flight here. That's Patrick with the goal. And the Voodoos again find themselves up 1-0 here early, as we're almost 5 minutes into this one.
Well, one of the things that we look at this goal, and it's all about crashing the net, it's about getting, it's all about having support there. You see the rebounds that are given up there by Dinsdale, and it's just getting those second opportunities, and that's why you need to crash the net when you're a forward there to try and get those rebounds, and it works out for Powassan really early on in this game again.
And that's Ryan Patrick's 12th of the season, so he's chipped in quite a bit offensively for this Voodoos squad. Now Hearst finds themselves down a goal in the Voodoos zone as they're trying to send the puck around behind the net, try to get the cycle game going. Gazic thwarts that plan. And now it's a penalty coming up here as Adam Morrell, the referee, makes that call, because Hearst had a good scoring chance of that, but it's a hooking call going against the Lumberjacks here. So the Voodoos are going to be quickly to the power play here. But just to finish off, Alex Little has 36 points this year, and the season high is again with Dayton Murray for 48 points. So he's within striking range, and there's still about a month and a half of the season left. It'll be interesting to see if he can keep going that way. And again, only 22 points to surpass Murray, as you mentioned. Dayton Murray, he was dangerous there for the Powassan Voodoos in their championship season. Leotino walks the line, started hard off this power play. Goes back to the blue line for Gazic. Gazic carries the puck in again on the half wall. Tried to find Strinchuluk, couldn't. Finally, he does find Strinchuluk, who's now at the high point. Strinchuluk plays pitch and catch with Gazic. Gazic tries to get the puck to the point for Leotino. He has to backhand it back in. Strinchuluk now in deep, and then Lemke gets the puck and sends the puck all the way down into the Voodoo zone as there was nobody there at the blue line. Palffy all over him, gives it away to Janicki. Janicki sends the puck in, and now Leotino's going to pick it back up. All I can tell you, thanks to that wonderful stanchion here at the Sportsplex, they have over a minute left on the power play. Strinchuluk carries the puck in. Tries to get a pass away. It hits the stick or skate of Palffy and goes into the corner. Lemke follows through with a hit on him. Puck back to the blue line. What a good keep there by Little. Little walks in, takes the shot. Dinsdale gets a piece of that one. And now it's back to Wilkie. Wilkie walking the line. Switches places with the captain, Little. Gets it back to the point for Gazic. Over to Little. Little was found the streaking Gazic. Couldn't get a shot away, though. Gazic now on the far side. Under a minute left on the man advantage. Gets it back to Little. Little takes the shot, just missed Dinsdale's net. And the puck goes back around to the near side wall. Lemke stops it up, gets it back to Little. Little back to Lemke. Lemke with some space, walks in, takes the backhand chance, stopped by Dinsdale. Puck now just swimming around in the crease. The Voodoos trying desperately to get it in, but they can't. Now it's back to the point again for Wilkie. Wilkie takes another shot, scores! The Voodoos are up 2-0 here on the power play. Mitch Wilkie from the point.
And I'm not sure if Alex Little's going to get a point potentially on that one, and we're going to see if it gets tipped out in front at first. But
looks like Lemke, led the way back to the bench.
Yeah, and what was so great about this is we talked about how the first most of the goals in that game against Greater Sudbury were from defensemen, and again, it's all about those point shots, getting people in front of the goaltender, and that's exactly what the Voodoos do. And you see, even though Little wasn't the one who scored there, it was Lemke, I think he did a really good job keeping that play alive in that power play. Well, you see how good of a...
As the puck comes in on Flageau and he stops that, you saw the puck was coming back to the blue line. Little hopped over the bench and kept it alive, right? So
yeah, and that's something that he does. Those are the little things, but Lemke with a great shot. And
those are the little things?
Oh, yeah, sorry. That was I didn't mean that.
Lemke, that's his 5th goal of the season. It's also his 124th point of the year. Shot comes in on Flageau. He stops that one up.
We'll have to talk to Chris Dawson about that.
Yeah, we will. Hey, he's just trying to pad his stats. Look at me as a general manager. Look at the guy I got.
But honestly, though, Lemke, that's really what you want. And when you can get goal scoring, as it is Lemke who will get credited with the goal there. And
so
it looks like Wilkie's going to get the assist on there as well. And again, it's those shots from the points. The defense have done a great job for the Voodoos here in the last few games, getting points on the board.
Doesn't look like Little's going to get credited with an assist. Just Wilkie. But yes, they have for sure. It's 2-0 quickly for Powassan. And we're just over 7 minutes into the game. Patterson gains the zone for Hearst. And now the Voodoos have possession once again. Strenchluck in his own zone. Looks up ice, gets it to Smetham. Smetham with some speed gains the zone, takes the shot. Dinsdale just missed his net once again. Both goalies here on the Hearst bench have some ties to the Voodoos organization and North Bay. As once again, Klugerman battling with the puck with Demers. Back to Schillinglaw. He couldn't keep the line though as it goes for offside, so Hearst has to tag up. 12:14 left in the first period, and the Voodoos send the puck down the length of the ice, so that will go for icing. But Dinsdale himself, he came to the Voodoos training camp this summer, and he has relatives in North Bay. Obviously, he didn't make the team as he went to Hearst instead. And then Caleb Papineau played last season for the U16 AAA Trappers. He was taken by the Saginaw Spirit, and he was actually billeted by Voodoos GM Chris Dawson's family. So Voodoos General Manager Chris Dawson, his wife is in attendance, and now the Voodoos, Caden Long off to the races, takes the shot, scores! Caden Long continues his hot streak here for Powassan.
And I don't know what it's about this building, but these goalies are struggling when they come in here. That's a shot that's a beautiful kind of low, but above the pad, blocker side, and that's a very hard shot for a lot of goalies in this league to stop because they're just usually slightly out of position. They don't have quite the arm reach to make it, and they don't see those kind of shots. What a shot from Long there. As the thing that Voodoos have done in that Greater Sudbury game is they've scored fast. That's now 3-0 on, I believe it's 8 or 9 shots.
Lemke,
very good.
At center ice sits Janaki down, and for the record, that's actually Matthew McMillan who had the great shot on Dinsdale.
Oh, sorry.
So I'll have to give it to him. That was my bad. I thought it looked like Caden Long streaking down the ice. Gets his Matthew McMillan gets his 8th of the season.
See, I trusted you.
I betrayed you. I'm sorry. You were my brother, Anakin. Puck on the far side wall. It's also really tough with Dinsdale because I think Dimsdale from Fairly Odd Parents every time. So McMillan with the goal. And now it's up to Lemke. He just dumps the puck into the Lumberjack zone. So Hearst down 3-0, although the scoreboard says 2-0 at current moment. Gets the puck up to Pichette. Pichette sends the puck into the Voodoos zone. And after looking like a strong start for the Lumberjacks, it's been all Powassan here. Little takes a shot off the tip of the stick of Dinsdale and out of play. So again, 3-0 Voodoos lead, and we're just over 9 minutes into this first period. I don't think Hearst thought they'd see themselves down 3-0 in the first.
No, and this is really just the Voodoos coming out and using their speed. Right now the Lumberjacks are just a step behind. It seems like they're getting beaten down on transition defensively on the rush all the time, and we see some really great finishing shots here from the Voodoos, and you got to be very happy if you're Powassan, obviously, with this first period, but no real chances the Lumberjacks have had in the last 5 minutes or so.
Nothing big on Flageau for sure, as you mentioned, off the commitment, or just fresh off a commitment to the NCAA, so he knows where he's playing next year. He'll be playing his trade south of the border, although he is from Colorado. Shot comes in, is blocked by Risman, and now they get it back to the point. Shot comes in on Flageau, he knocks it to the side. Risman now tries to flip the puck up and out of the zone, but instead he flips it up and out of play. So he did get it out of the zone in a way.
And Flageau's got to be really happy with that. That's going to be a big kind of, it's going to be a big relief for him. He's coming into his overage season. You're not too sure what you're going to do next year. If you go to the NCAA, there's still that opportunity. That road to that NHL is still there. It's still very prevalent. Even though it's Division III, he can definitely surprise some guys. And there's a lot of people who come out of NCAA and end up doing very well in professional hockey.
Yeah, the NCAA is a good route for many. We've seen the battalion, one of the battalion players the player the battalion has rights on, Adam Fantilli, go down to the NCAA, and of course Jack Eichel a couple of years ago. And you always see, even now, the Leafs have a prospect down there, Matthew Nyes, who they are really high on playing in the NCAA.
Yeah, and when you're a goaltender too, age is a big thing. As they get older, they become better. So getting those extra 2, 3, 4 years can help a lot in his development.
He's been stellar here this season for the Voodoos. He's been stellar so far, turning away 5 shots from Hearst through the first half of this first period. Up to Thompson now. Thompson into the Lumberjack zone, gets the puck to Little. Little takes the shot. Might have fanned on the release a little bit, but Dinsdale turns that one aside. Long, back to the point, to Little. Little takes a shot. That one's knocked down in front of Dinsdale's net. The rebound by Thompson just missed the net. And now it's back to the Lumberjacks. Lumberjacks floating the puck out to center ice. Long gloves that one down and sends that one in deep. Dinsdale plays the puck back to his defenseman. And the Hearst Lumberjacks are just going to wait for a line change here to set up their play. Going up ice. The Voodoos, the Lumberjacks, Patterson gets the puck back to the point for Schillinglaw. Schillinglaw takes a shot. That one hit some traffic in front, never got to the net. Voodoos doing a good job of clogging up the shooting lanes early. Strenchuluk battling for it. Puck comes out of play into the netting of the Sportsplex again. We've reached our mid-period break. So with that being said, we'll be back on the other side of this as we continue our first period action on the front line.
This period is brought to you by Canada Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Visit canadacollege.ca/perks for more information.
So if you're just joining us, it's 3-0 Powassan here halfway through the first period. Shots on goal, 12-5 in favor of the Voodoos as well.
Yeah, and if you're Hearst, it was almost, this mid-period break I think was a really beneficial thing for you. I was almost getting to a point where if you allow one more good chance, one more goal, you might have to be forced to take a very early timeout in this hockey game to get regrouped. But Dinsdale's looked kind of interesting. There have been a couple of goals that have really not necessarily been his fault, but we look at McMillan with that great shot, and he hasn't looked bad, but he hasn't looked entirely sharp, the way that you would expect maybe him to perform on a team as good as Hearst has been. And what a great opportunity for the Voodoos. Again, they've been showing how well they played. Look at how they played at home against Greater Sudbury, and now again in the early moments here. And they've been getting on their opponents early, and Hearst has not really had a lot of opportunities, especially in the last 6, 7, 8 minutes.
No, they haven't, and especially when you look at Dinsdale's stats coming into this game, 15-5 with a 247 goals against a 918 save percentage. I mean, he can still turn it around and, shut the door the rest of the way, but it definitely hasn't been the start he or the Lumberjacks would have wanted, especially because there's a lot of fans down here from Hearst, and, Hearst isn't the closest team in the world.
It's a long drive.
Back to the point for Hearst. They can't keep it in the zone, so they'll have to come up and tag out. Voodoos have lots of time as there was a man behind their net, so Little took the puck behind his net just to reset.
8 minutes here in the first period. 3-0 Powassan leads. Little over to Shields. Shields up the ice to Smetham. Smetham just getting into the red line and dumps the puck in. Now battle in the corner with Strenchuluk. Strenchuluk bowled over. Gets the puck back to the point for Wilkie. Wilkie takes the shot. Getting an assist on a goal here tonight already. Wilkie coming off his point-getting ways that he had in his last game that he played. And now a quick shot from the slot, and Flageau turns that one aside. That was a giveaway there by Powassan quickly in their own zone. Good thing Cannon Flageau was there to bail them out. Little in the Lumberjacks zone, deep behind the net, takes the pass, gets it back to the point for Strenchuluk. He misses the net. And now Ricci comes in and keeps the line. Ricci takes another shot. Dinsdale gloves that one down, and we'll get a stoppage in play here.
Well, if you're a fan of the battalion, doesn't Little remind you a lot of Ty Nelson at times?
He does.
He really does. Like, he's such a quarterback back there, starting a lot of plays. He's not afraid to jump up into the play and really create a lot of opportunities. And obviously, we do a lot of battalion hockey, and I really see kind of like a mini Ty Nelson inside Alex Little when he plays.
O'Brien loses the puck to Morton. Morton can't get past Ricci, though, once he gains the Voodoo zone. Now it's up to Gazic. Gazic skates the puck into the Lumberjack zone, goes for a skate with it as he skates around the zone. Gets it to Lemke, or O'Brien. O'Brien sends it back to Ricci at the point. Ricci looks to take the shot. His shot is knocked aside and into the corner. And now going the other way is Lumberjacks. Morton couldn't get into the zone, so he lost the possession of that. Gets it to O'Brien. Now it's Gazic going the other way. Gazic gains the zone, takes a shot. Dinsdale knocks that one aside. O'Brien gets the puck back to the point for Fullerton. Fullerton with the shot, knocked aside. Powassan won the rebound chance. It goes into the corner, back to Liatino. Liatino takes a shot, but that one's blocked by Morton. And now it's back to Fullerton. Fullerton sends the puck back in deep. Hearst regrouping here. 6:23 left in this first period. And Como gains the Voodoo zone and then dumps it in. Patrick with possession. Gets it up to Liatino. Liatino tries to get the service, but that one's going to go down the length of the ice, although McMillan looked like he had the inside step on that one, but it's icing nonetheless. So another face-off here will come in the offensive zone for Hearst.
And the biggest difference in this game right now is if you look at the way that both teams are trying to gain the offensive zone, Powassan's stopping them right at the blue line. They're stopping them in the neutral zone, forcing them to chip the puck in and not giving them a lot of time in the offensive zone. If you look at the other way, the Voodoos are doing a great job of getting into the offensive zone, getting these great opportunities, and Hearst just kind of feels like they're on their heels on both sides of the puck, and I think it's really hurting them. Obviously already down 3-0 early in this game.
Liatino dumps the puck into the Lumberjacks zone. The Jacks with possession, slow things down once again behind their net. Going for a skate. First gets it to Demers. Demers. No one's stopping him until his pass missed its mark. And now Little has possession in his own zone. Little tried to get it up to Long. Couldn't. Now Wilkie picks it up by the Lumberjacks bench. And Demers gets possession. Tries to get the puck in quickly. His pass attempt to Pichette just missed its mark as well. Hearst with possession in the Voodoo zone once again. Sends it around. Demers picks it up. Sends it out front. What a save by Flageau. Point blank. As Janicki was right on the doorstep and couldn't get it to go as Flageau stretched out and stopped that one. Hearst with their first bit of sustained pressure here in this game. Thompson in the corner, battling with the puck as the puck bounces up and hits the roof of the Sportsplex. So it's out of play, so we'll get a stoppage here. Hearst showing some life, though.
Yeah, and that's if you're Hearst, that's exactly what you need to do. You need to start getting some offensive prowess, try to get one back before the end of this period. And finally, they've only had 2 shots in the last 4 minutes, give or take. And that obviously, that one chance, absolutely great, but Flageau getting over and blocking the whole bottom of the net. If you're Powassan, it's all about trying to get to the end of this period without giving up a goal and keeping that momentum going into the second.
Smetham in their zone, just under 5 minutes left. And the Lumberjacks keep it in. Going for a skate, gets it back to Campersad. Takes the shot off the post, beat Flageau, but couldn't beat the iron behind him. Another shot comes in. That one's blocked by Risman and out to center ice. Smetham chases after it. Smetham now just gets it to the blue line and sends it into the Hearst zone. Hearst, again, showing some life here on back-to-back shifts.
But we see that speed from Smitham's there to create an offensive opportunity almost. And that's what Powassan's done so well in that neutral zone with loose pucks.
Risman up ice to O'Brien. O'Brien goes cross ice for Lemke. It hits his skate and bounces into the zone. Way out of the way for the Voodoos, so Hearst gets possession and sends it back into the Voodoos zone. Liatino behind his net. Skates the puck up, gains the red line, sends it in. And the puck bounces in off the side of the net. And Dinsdale has to put his stick in the net to knock it off the side. Keep play alive now as a bit of big hit in the far corner for the Lumberjacks, knocking down Gazic. Now the puck's behind the Lumberjacks zone. Stuck up against the boards. Now comes out front. Lemke tries to get it in. He falls onto Dinsdale. And you know the teams don't like it when you fall on top of their goaltender, but that's a little subdued, actually. I thought it was going to be a little bit more heated after he fell on Dinsdale.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of scrapping back and forth here and there, especially in the Hearst zone, but Hearst has done a great job in that last play. They got a lot of good offensive pressure. Didn't get too many shots on Flageau, but a lot of good pressure, and they looked a little bit sharper on defense. And that's going to be kind of a key. Remember, yes, Powassan's up 3-0, but Hearst can put up goals. We saw that against Cochrane, 10 goals in that game. So you can't count them out yet. And again, that's if Powassan can shut them down in the next 3:21, go into that period up 3-0, I think that's going to be a big win if you're the Voodoos. Again, we talk about points. They're 5 points apart. If you can get a win here in regulation, now you're only 3 points apart. Every point's going to matter, especially considering these teams don't play a lot of games in the regular season.
Also considering the Voodoos have a game in hand on Hearst right now as well.
Yeah.
Big points, especially this time of the year. Klugerman gains the Voodoos zone but immediately loses the puck. And now going the other way is Service. Service gains the red line and dumps it in, chasing after it. A Thornley Hall that had the puck in the corner. And now Hearst with possession once again. Going up the ice. They gain the zone. Little tries to get to it, knocking Klugerman off the puck. Klugerman battling with Little in the near side corner. Little gets it to Wilkie. Wilkie knocked hard into the boards by Patterson. And the puck comes out front. Nobody was there. Janicki takes the shot. Flageau sucks that one up into his chest. And that's another stoppage there. Now we see Palfy exchanging words with Patrick here in this one.
Yeah, there's probably going to be some heated. It was a little bit worse back when the Voodoos scored about 2 in a few minutes as they started getting a little bit scrappier. But yeah, it's going to be the big thing you don't want to do is get into penalty trouble, and that's going to be there's still some jawing between Paulette and Patrick there as they go off to the bench. But you definitely don't want to take any stupid penalties at this point, and considering you don't want to let Hearst back in this game in any way.
No, you got a 3-0 lead. You want to keep it. And maybe get some more here. We've seen the Voodoos be able to get more. Strenchuluk going to be offside if he touches the puck, so he turns around and goes the other way. Now Hearst restarts in their own zone. Up the ice, gaining the red line, dumping it in. Just over 2 minutes here left in this first period. 3-0 Powassan leads. Liatino takes the puck, knocks it down the ice. Janicki, not really showing the most hustle, allows it to become an icing call here. Stop that one.
Well, we look at the shots, 14 and 8, and it's kind of interesting with Hearst with the amount of offensive pressure that they put on. They still only managed about 3 shots in the last few minutes.
I was gonna say
not 3 goals, 3 shots. So I think with the Hearst, it's going to be trying to get more pucks in on Flageau, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Try and get some tip-ins, try and do something from the point, get some bodies in front of Flageau, and try and do something here. And we'll see if maybe they can run the shot clock up in the end of this period.
Janicki tried to keep it in, couldn't. Smetham sends it down the length of the ice. Dinsdale comes up his net to plays it. And then Liatino lines up his man on the far side wall. Harley quickly moves the puck up. Now Demers sends it in. Demers behind his net looks for the no-look pass. And then they send it up. And then Rampersad didn't keep it in as it went offside. So we're going to get an offside call here and another face-off as these last few minutes have just kind of ground to a halt.
Yeah, and I think right now the biggest thing is the Voodoos are kind of struggling in their defensive zone to get possession and create that great transition game that really catapulted them in the first about 10, 12 minutes of this period.
Morton sends the puck in deep. It's going to be Sparich. So he can't keep it in. Now it's back to Morton in his own zone. Morton looks up ice. Hearst trying to get it up. That's Rampersad. Gets it to Como. Sends the puck in. Now the Voodoos kind of scrambling in their zone to try and get a hold of the puck. Can't. And it's back to the point. And Thompson chases after the puck. Quick 2-on-1 with Long. Out front to Long. Long takes a shot! There it goes! Now I can see it. Caden Long continues his hot streak for the Voodoos for real this time.
Wow, and this is one of the things I was going to say, and I said this in the battalion game yesterday, but great offense creates great defense, and what was happening with Hearst was they were putting so much pressure on the Voodoos in their own zone, they weren't able to get good offense the other way, but this time, however, they go down and nobody picks up Long, who is absolutely wide open the high slot, and again, the one thing the Voodoos have done great in their 4 goals is their finishing. Their shots have been absolutely fantastic, and Dinsdale having a bit of a trouble in net. We'll see if maybe...
Coming in offside, that was Klugerman. He was away on a breakaway.
Getting a little lucky there, but I was going to say it'd be interesting to see if Dinsdale potentially gets a pull here after one period, allowing 4 goals on 15 shots so far. Though I don't know if that shot total is completely accurate, but he's had a bit of a tough start, a couple of goals that I think he'd want to have back, so it'll be kind of interesting as backup goalie kind of getting some of the stuff on as well.
Well, yeah, we'll have to see for Caden Long. That's the 7th of the season. And we're into the last minute of play here. You know, former Mayor Al McDonald, who's in attendance here from North Bay, grandfather of Caden Long, loves to see Long put the puck in the net for sure. Got to be happy with the week that he's had as well, starting last Friday here against the Greater Sudbury Cubs. Klugerman can't hold on to the puck in the Voodoos zone. Shields can't get it either. Now the puck rides up and over the glass into the netting and out of play. So we'll get another stoppage here with 32.1 seconds remaining on the clock.
And one of the things that I think the Voodoos have done a really good job is when you look at quick starts, when you look at going up 4-0, what that creates for Hearst is they've only have 40 minutes now to get 4 goals just to tie the game. It puts them really below kind of the 8 ball in a way, where if you're the Voodoos, it's all about now playing a really good, solid defensive game. And we'll see if they can continue in the next 40 minutes, but you got to be extremely happy with your first 20 here.
Very happy for sure. As now Little gets hit behind the net. And now he comes away with the puck and goes the other way. The Voodoos with a 3-on-1 to Thompson. Thompson back to Long, takes another shot. He missed the net. The Voodoos buzzing here late in this first period. 10 seconds remain. Puck sent in. Going behind the net now. They can't get it as now it's 3 seconds left. Hard hit late on Thompson. Thompson not likes that. He doesn't like that too much. And now we get some rough stuff after the whistle here.
Yeah, and this is where it can get kind of spicy a little bit. When you're down 4-0, it's been kind of a tough 20 minutes for you for Hearst, and you can kind of get the body involved a little bit. But again, the last thing they want to do is get themselves into more trouble, as the Voodoos already have been very good on the score sheet. And again, we look at the guys. Long getting another point now, 6 points in 3 games. McMillan, a beautiful shot, and not much more you can say of the Voodoos. What an absolute great 20 minutes.
Fantastic 20 minutes for sure. So with that being said, it's a 4-0 lead for Powassan. They lead 15-8 in shots at the end of the first period. I'm Courtney Kenny, he's Ben Sargent, and we'll take the first intermission off, and we'll be back for second period action of hockey here on the front line. As always, keep your eye on the front line.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canador's alumni office. Visit canadorcollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts. Before we dive into this year, I mean, we've had you on a couple of times now, but I wanted to ask you, since we haven't had you on since the end, or since before the end of last year, you were here briefly towards the end of that last place finish team, the 1920 season. Compared to, and then what's it like, sitting out that whole entire year because of COVID? I mean, you did get some hockey into you, at least according to your elite prospects page, but you come up here and then you go from a last place team in the OHL to a top 4 finisher in the playoffs. What's that experience like?
It was honestly crazy. We kind of, we knew we were kind of building that. When we brought in a couple guys and we were building around that, we expected it to happen, but when it was actual reality, it was kind of crazy. Like we had a lot of fun. Going last year, like the group of guys we had, we really took advantage of the time we had together, and I thought we had a great group of guys that really had a lot of fun together, even off the ice too. We really had good connections, and it really helped us on the ice as well, I thought.
With the media side of things, the first 2 rounds are kind of normal, but then you get to the Eastern Conference Finals and even the OHL Finals, and it's different because from the media side of things, there's eyes on the media side, there's eyes on this team, but then you have to go, instead of just going up to head coach Ryan Houlihan after the game and talking to him, you have to go to a room and all this other stuff. From a player's side of things, is it a different beast when you reach that Final Four?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like at that time, like your guys are battling injuries, but you wouldn't even notice. Like guys are all business at that time. Like everyone's dialed in, everyone's focused on the task at hand. Like it's crazy how dialed in guys get at that time, but it's really impressive too.
For you yourself, I mean, going to your Tampa Bay Lightning camp and then playing hockey, that was a long season for you. How do you recover after such a long, almost calendar year of playing hockey?
I mean, you do your best. You take advantage of the time you get to recover. Taking advantage of the time to roll out or take that extra 5 minutes to stretch here and there. That stuff's huge, and it really pays off later on. So just trying to really take advantage of your time that you do get, and like I said, take advantage of that time.
Speaking of taking advantage of time, for somebody who's from Florida and stuff, how often do you get home in a calendar year playing up in North Bay?
Not too much. I get home for Christmas during the season, and then that's about it during the season. So I know Christmas break, I really try to take advantage of the time I get with my family. They're a big part of my life, so really just spend the entire time I'm home with them.
How often does your family get up here to watch you play?
During COVID, they didn't come up at all due to some vaccine stuff, but they've come up a lot this year. They just came up actually for the last week and a half. They were up, and then they're going to come up for the American road trip. So it'll be nice to see them a lot more. And then I think my brother and my sister might get up here too for playoffs, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say whenever I'm waiting for Ryan Houlihan post game, there's always a lot of number 8 jerseys hanging out around there. So
it's always good to see some support, even if it's not necessarily your family, but some support, right, when you're that far away from home.
Yeah, I like going out there and going to see everyone still support me, even if they're not family members. It's very nice. So, like I said, I love the people in the city. They're tremendous for us.
For you yourself, I mean, this is your overage season. What does that mean to you, knowing that this is your last go around in the OHL?
I mean, I'm very fortunate to be in the position I'm in. Obviously, to be playing on this team. I want to win a championship. I'm all in for that. I think that's what we all have our eyes focused on here. So that's at the end of the day, that's what I'm here to do.
For you, also yourself personally, last year and this year, you're wearing a letter on your jersey. How special is that to look down and see that every single night?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot to me to be a leader on this team. We have a really good group of leaders, and I think we take a lot of pride in that, and we try to do a good job leading this team. So we just we hope it pays off and it shows to everyone else.
All right, I got a bit of a silly question for you here, just because anybody who's a Battalion fan who's played the new NHL game, obviously has seen your mugshot on the game, and your hair's a little bit wild. Did you know that was going to be what the lasting impression was from you on Tampa Bay Lightning camp when they took that picture?
No, I didn't, but all the boys loved that hair, so I didn't. I loved it too. I might bring it back for playoffs. You'll see. I'm starting to grow it out a little bit now, so we'll see what happens.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
And we welcome you back inside the Powassan Sportsplex as we get ready for the second period of hockey here between the Powassan Voodoos and French River Rapids. I'm Courtney Kenny, he's Ben Sargent. To get you caught up on things going on here, the Voodoos are up 4-0 after 20 minutes played. 15-8 are the shots on goal. Also, shout out to our producer, Drew Ferris. And if you're watching Hockey TV but not our YouTube feed, Mike Brown, who is our cameraman.
Yeah, and what a great first period for the Powassan Voodoos. We talked 15 shots on net, 4 goals. We saw Long can extend his kind of point streak, 6 points now in 3 games. We saw McMillan, a beautiful shot where we got kind of a little psyched out there thinking it was Long. But McMillan getting a goal. We've seen Alex Little being absolutely fantastic. No points so far, but absolutely fantastic. Really quarterbacking that Voodoos offense. And, of course, what more can you say about Cannon Flajo, who's been fantastic. 8 shots, 8 saves.
We'll have to see if Hearst puts any pressure on here as the Voodoos get underway, getting it into the Lumberjacks zone with a quick shot on Dinsdale. He turns that one aside. The Voodoos in their home whites are going left to right, and the Lumberjacks in the road blacks are going right to left here in this middle frame. Little with the puck. It's up to the near side wall, and it's quickly out to Shields through the neutral zone. Shields looks for the pass to get to Strenchuluk, can't get it to go to him. Now Patterson goes for a skate in his own zone. Patterson knocked off the puck by Strenchuluk, but it's knocked into the corner, and they can't get anything to go anywhere as Lumberjacks try to clear the puck once again. Patrick comes in, keeps it in. Finally, Hearst does get the puck out, and now Service quickly gets it back in. Gives it to McMillan, the goal scorer. McMillan takes the shot. He tried to roof it over the glove of Dinsdale, but couldn't get it to go. Now another shot comes in from the point from Liatino, and that one's turned away. McMillan battling for the puck on the far side wall. Gets it up to Service. Service in the corner. Nearly knocked off the puck, but gives it away as he tried to get it back into the corner. Gets it to McMillan. Voodoos, all kinds of trouble here, but now they're going to have a delayed penalty as Service is knocked down. But before that, Patrick took down his man with a trip. So that'll be and Tyson Risman's dad, who's in attendance, getting a happy birthday wish here.
Yeah, and this is what if you're Hearst, pretty solid defensive play to start things off. Now they're going to get a chance to get one back. And honestly, at this point, if you're the Lumberjacks, if you can get an early goal here in the second period, that's big. This is going to be a huge kill off for the Voodoos, as again they're thinking, hey, we can add to the scoreboard, but you're also kind of thinking, hey, you got a 4-0 lead. We don't need to do anything too drastic.
Minute 48 left here in the Power play here for Hearst. Pichette has the puck in his own zone, leaves it behind the net. And again, a huge happy birthday to Tyson Risman's dad, Reg. Again in attendance. Risman, the property of the North Bay Battalion as he was drafted by them in 2022. Demers with the puck goes cross ice to Pichette. Hearst gains the zone. Pichette skates around the end boards, gets it back to the point. Back over to Pichette. Quickly back to the point. To Pichette again. Pichette walks in. He tries to get the shot to go cross ice for a bit of a tap in. And now it's down to the side for the Lumberjacks. Back to the point. Demers sends it in. Over cross ice to Pichette. Pichette hounded by the Voodoos and just dumps it back in. Big hit leveled behind the net against the Lumberjacks, and now correctly cross ice to Pichette. In deep. Tried to get that one to go, but Powassan's going to send that one back down to the Lumberjacks zone. Less than 30 seconds now remain. Actually 30 seconds remain, and now we're going to get an offside call here against the Lumberjacks as he tried to regain the zone. So 30 seconds left on the man advantage. 4-0, the Voodoos still lead.
Yeah, and the Voodoos doing a really good job on the penalty kill, keeping the puck to the outside as the Lumberjacks had to keep getting it to the point, having to pass it around and not giving them any opportunities on Flat Joe, any opportunities in the kind of high-scoring areas of the ice. And that's kind of like a big kill so far for the Voodoos as they have 30 seconds left on this power play, but looking good so far in the first 3 minutes.
Well, Hearst wins the draw right back to their zone, so they'll have to start from their own zone with Schillinglaw grabbing the puck. Schillinglaw battling Shields, finally gets around him, and going down the length of the ice, that's Patterson. Patterson stops it up. And it goes cross ice now to Como, back to Schillinglaw, quick shot, knocked aside of the net. I don't know if Flageau got a piece of that. Quickly out front, Flageau with another great stop. My goodness, Cannon Flageau. Now Cannon Flageau gets up and throws some gloves in the midst of the fray as well. But what a save by Flageau as the puck came out, and he had no time to react to that one.
Yeah, and that was just great positioning by Flageau as he gets over, and that puck's right in the top slot, gets his body right in front of it, puck goes right into him, and great opportunity too from Hearst, their best opportunity so far in this period as they get two really good chances. Powassan keeping that weak side pretty much well open, and what an opportunity for Hearst, but Flageau keep looking strong, and we talk about body positioning with goaltenders, and that's one of the big keys is can you get squared up to the puck, can you take away as much of the net as possible, and Flageau is a very good goaltender when it comes to that, and we see that there as he's able to track that puck all the way across and keeps this a 4-0 game.
There was a secondary chance as well, as we'll see Klugerman in the box now for Hearst. So the Voodoos did kill off the 2 minutes, so now the Powassan going to the power play, and Hearst not very happy about that, as you can see the captain Palfy, Braden Palfy out there arguing the case, but there was two great chances, the one that Flageau got, and then the second one bounced off the stick of the Lumberjacks on the rebound. So,
and if you're Powassan, you know what would be better than coming back and scoring a quick goal for your goaltender here, and really put Hearst in an even bigger hole.
Quickly, Hearst gets the puck out of the zone, and it's going to go down the length of the ice with Flageau playing the puck behind his net. Wilkie accepts the pass from his netminder before stopping up and slowing things down before taking the puck and going down to the neutral zone. Little dumps the puck in. Patrick back to O'Brien. Gets it back to Little. Little just sends the puck back in deep, and Patrick is able to get to that one first. Patrick stops up, goes behind his net to Smetham. Smetham fanning on it, nearly lost it, but now a battle ensues in the near side corner. Over a minute left on the man advantage here. Gets back to Wilkie, back to Little. Little walks in, takes the shot. That one just missed the net. Back to Wilkie at the point. Wilkie goes cross ice for Little. Little tries to set things up on the far side wall. Goes back to Smetham, who gets it to the point to O'Brien. O'Brien takes a shot. Dinsdale turns that one aside. Patrick back to the point for O'Brien. O'Brien tries to shovel that one back in. And they get it back to Patrick, who sends it in deep for Smetham. The Voodoos with a quick change here on the power play. Get some fresh feet out there. And O'Brien now brings it behind the net. O'Brien skates around. Slows things up. Decides to try and send a puck in on Dinsdale. But it's knocked into the corner. Voodoos, all kinds of possessions, no shots, but trying to get it out front to Gazic, can't get it to go. And now Hearst has a chance going the other way. Just gains the zone, slows things up, goes out front, can't get a shot away. That was Palfy. And now Strenchaluk slows things down and goes the other way. Less than a minute remaining on the man advantage. Shields skates around behind his net. Leaves it behind the net for Gazic. The stick on the ice means it's almost time for Hearst to get back to 5-on-5. And they do. They kill off the time. As the puck's out front, can't get it past Dinsdale. Liatino turns around, takes a shot, can't get it to go. Now going the other way. Liatino takes down his man, Demers. Now it's out front, quickly back to Demers, takes the shot. And a save by Flageau as he stoned Demers on a nice passing play by the Lumberjacks.
Well, Flageau had a pretty easy period in the first of facing 8 shots. So really only made that one really nice save with the pad kind of later in the period, but he's looked very sharp here in the second. That's his second save that he's had to make in kind of a poor defensive play from the Voodoos there, leaving the high slot open and not being able to back check properly. And Hearst is not able to finish off their pucks, but if you're the Voodoos, you got to tighten up a little bit defensively here.
As they're taken down right off the face-off, and now Hearst can't get back up as they took down Risman, and the puck's down into the Lumberjacks zone for icing. Risman was taken down by Pichette right off the whistle, and now he's getting a bit of a talking to from Adam Morel as he was kind of putting his hand out saying, what do I have to do to get a penalty here?
Yeah, and he's talking to Risman after. It looks like it's pretty civil, but yeah, the Voodoos right now, if you notice the difference here in the first 6 minutes, their passing's not as crisp, their neutral zone game's not as crisp, and that's going to be something to kind of keep an eye on as the Hearst has been the better team in the first 6 minutes.
Quick shot from the side of the net, goes nowhere. Now the Lumberjacks once again with possession, gets the puck back out into the slot, and that one's blocked. Now it's back to Rampersad. Rampersad takes the shot. It's blocked from the side, and now another quick attempt from the side of the net doesn't go in. Rampersad on the near side wall. Sends the puck in. Pichette couldn't hold on to it. And now the Voodoos get the puck out of their zone with Thompson chasing after it. Thompson on the far side by the Voodoos bench just decides to lift it into the Lumberjacks zone, but instead it's stopped by Rampersad. Now a 2-on-1 developing here for Powassan. Thompson takes the shot. Stopped by Dinsdale. Now it's stopped out front of the Voodoos score! Thomas Gazic pots one here for Powassan. It's 5-0.
Well, that's Portakevich who gives up, doesn't help his goaltender out at all as he gives up that puck, and it's all about those secondary chances. This is exactly the first goal they scored, right? It's all about secondary chances and getting and crashing the net, and they take advantage of it, and now it's 5-0. Hearst, who played a very good, so far, first period, but they find themselves even further down in this hole in this game.
Thomas Gazic, with his 5th of the season, gives Powassan the 5-0 lead over the Lumberjacks so far. As now we see a bit of an argument here between Josh Hardiman and Adam Morel, and we'll have to see what's being said there, as now it looks like things are ready to go.
Yeah, Hearst's not very happy, I think, right now with the officiating either. There have been a couple of plays where I think the bench and the players have wanted some calls, and they're just not getting it, including on that 2-on-1 break, where it felt like there might have been a potential hold.
Well, the thing that was interesting on that goal is Dinsdale had it, could jump out to it, but instead he pushed it out right to Gazic, who just shoveled it home.
Yeah, and again, that was the defenseman was also there who wasn't able to make the play, and Dinsdale having kind of a tough game so far, not able to have the proper rebound control, not making the saves I think he thinks he should make. So again, we'll have to watch to see does he get a potential hook in this game.
Well, we'll have to see how much longer the leash is. It's 5-0 now for Powassan as we're back underway in the Voodoos zone. Wilkie over to Little. Back to Smetham. Smetham takes a shot off the post. So the last shot beat Dinsdale. And then the first shot after the goal beats Dinsdale but didn't beat the iron. Lemke now battling for it. Gets it up to O'Brien. O'Brien couldn't get the shot away. Lots of frenetic action now in this game. As now the puck's knocked back up. Lemke can't get it to go, and Hearst has possession with Harley in his own zone. Harley looks up ice, looking for Klugerman. His pass is knocked off by Gazic. Gazic skates it in, takes a shot, knocked it down by Dinsdale, and now it's behind the net for O'Brien.
Yeah, another game that Dinsdale probably would have liked to have on the glove side.
Yeah, rebound control an issue right now for the netminder for Hearst. Gazic in his own zone. chips the puck up to service. It's knocked aside. Gazic losing it. Goes across in the zone, and now it's Thornley Hill. He knocks that one in. Gazic gets to it first. Big hit leveled along the boards here. And now another shot comes in, and Flageau turns that one aside. And now Powassan trying to regroup here in their own zone. Service catches a bit of an elbow from Schillinglaw in the neutral zone. Play continues. And now it's Patterson in the Voodoos zone. Patterson tries to get it, can't keep it in, or rather the Voodoos can't get it out. And now it's out front. Flageau kicks that one aside. And now another chance as the puck's just bouncing all over the place. 11 minutes here left in the second period. Flageau kicks that one aside as well. Back to the point. Another shot just misses the net. And now it's McMillan. McMillan looking up ice. McMillan goes for a skate, scoring a goal earlier in this game. Can't get it to go very far, and once he gains the zone. And now it's Palfy getting it back to Schillinglaw. Hearst trying to slow things down. Can't. As now it's behind the net. That's McMillan who's knocked down to the ice with Thompson right there. Hearst coming away with the puck. Palfy goes for a skate. Sends that one down into the Voodoos zone, and now Risman gets it. Immediately pushes it up the ice just out of the reach of Caden Long. Back into the Lumberjacks zone. Going cross ice. Hearst looking for options right now. Tronchen sends the puck in deep and still has it on the near side wall as he skates it back to the point. Now knocked off the puck. Hearst still has possession though. Looking for the pass out front. A good stick by the Voodoos, gets to it and knocks it down into the neutral zone. Powassan goes for a quick change. Flageau leaves the puck behind his net, and he's out of his net, but thankfully the Voodoos are able to not get any or get the puck or sticks in the way, so Hearst would have had a wide open cage. Now Strinchuluk tries a move. Got around one guy, couldn't get it to Dinsdale though, as he lost possession of that one. Now going the other way is Basiluk. Now we're going to have a delayed penalty here against Hearst as Pichette had it, and they basically had Strinchuluk down on the ice right in front of the linesman. And you know what? You know it's bad when the player knows it's a penalty, just skates over to the box without stopping.
Yeah, kind of a late call there. It looked like it was almost going to go against the Voodoos, as like they had possession of the puck for a little bit while the referee's arm was up. But yeah, and this is what we talk about Hearst, right? You're down 5-0. They can score goals, but you're halfway through this hockey game. You have roughly about 30 minutes left to play, and you can't take stupid penalties like this. We saw them do it earlier in the period as well, where they just take unnecessary roughing calls when they really don't need to. And as a coach, that's got to drive you nuts.
Liatino keeps the puck in. Sends it in deep for Strinchuluk. He can't quite hold on to it. Now it's to Lemke on the near side wall. Lemke back to Gazic. Gazic on the near side half wall, gets the puck back to Liatino. Liatino goes cross ice to Shields. Shields takes a shot, knocked aside by Dinsdale, and now sent back down the ice. Flageau plays it. Now it's Liatino stopping things up and resets before he sends the puck up ice to Lemke. Shields. And Lemke was a good foot in the zone.
I think he tripped there.
I don't think he meant it, but he was a good foot in the zone, so that's a easy offside call there for the linesman.
Yeah, and if you're Marc-Andre Bejin, the head coach for the Hearst Lumberjacks, you can't be too happy you got to be relatively happy with how you played in the second period. You've had a lot of opportunities. Here's one for the Voodoos.
Shot goes in, is turned wide of the net. Now it's back to Wilkie at the point. Wilkie over to Little real quick off the pass from O'Brien. Little. And deep for Smetham, gets it into Patrick. Patrick looking for options, goes cross ice to Smetham. Smetham back to Little, to Wilkie. Wilkie near side to O'Brien. O'Brien looking around, skates it behind the net. Gets it back to Little, then to Wilkie. Wilkie quickly cross ice to O'Brien, to Little. Little takes the shot. Dinsdale turns that one aside. Back to the point for Little, under a minute on the man advantage. Little takes the shot. That one's knocked aside. Wilkie whacks at it. Can't get it to go, so Little keeps it just in the zone. Back to the point for O'Brien. O'Brien to Little. Little with space over to Wilkie. Wilkie with a quick shot. Dinsdale got a piece of that, now bouncing up in the air. And the Voodoos can't get that one to go. And it's kept in the zone somehow by Little. Little knocked that one down with a glove, gets it back to Wilkie. Wilkie looks into the center ice for Smetham. Smetham can't get a shot. And now Hearst. That's going to send the puck down the ice. It's Mintenko. And Little's going to chase after it.
Little, again, the heart and soul of this team when he's on the ice is he makes a couple of really good plays on that power play, keeps the puck in, makes a couple of really good passes, is joining up in the high slot in the rush. And he really makes this team so much better when he's on the ice.
Sent down the length of the ice. We're now back to 5-on-5 hockey with 7 minutes left here in this second period. Risman lines up a hit, loses a stick because of it, has to chase after it. Now it's back in to the Voodoos zone. Risman, another big hit. A little wrecking ball here in this shift for Tyson Risman. And now Long with the puck kicks it up and chases after it. Dinsdale plays the puck behind his net. They get it back to Risman to Kelly. Kelly skates it in. Looks for options, falls down behind the net. Gets it back to Long, who takes a quick shot. And that one's turned aside. Ricci with the puck, sends the puck in deep. Doesn't go too far though, as Demers has it back out into the slot. Now in behind the defense was Hearst, as some Hearst fans looking for some penalties, not getting any. Here as the player was knocked down. McMillan chasing after it. Now Janicki has it. Janicki gives it to Pichette. Pichette couldn't get a hold on it. McMillan knocked it the other way before Janicki picks it up in his own zone again. Now the other way again. Demers to Pichette. Pichette. Good stick there by Risman. Keeps the puck from getting over to Klugerman. And now Harley sends the puck in. And Flageau's going to get a glove on that one. And then we're going to get Risman, who has a solid foot on Demers. Exchanging words there. And then we hear some yelling from the far end here. That should be our mid-period break, though. So, with that being said, it's a 5-0 Voodoos lead, and we'll be back with more of the second period on the front line after this.
This period is brought to you by Canada Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Visit canadacollege.ca/perks for more information.
So, Ben, 5-0 the Voodoos lead through more than half of this game. I think, those Hearst fans starting to let their frustrations be known.
Yeah, it's been kind of a scrappy period. Risman's been kind of in the middle of it in that last shift. A couple of big hits, a little bit of jawing after. And look, when you're down 5-0, there is going to be a little bit more heated from the Hearst side. But if you're Hearst, you've got to be happy with the way that you've played this period versus how you played that first period. Yes, they've given up a goal. They haven't scored any, but they played a much better defensive game. They've had more chances on Flageau in the second period. The big thing, though, is they've got to find the back of the net, and the difference right now is the Voodoos are finishing their opportunities. Dinsdale has not been the sharpest. He has had his struggles today, and he's a good goaltender. Again, he comes in with a .247 goals against average. He's 15-5 in 21 games. He's a good goaltender, but he's having a bit of an off night here. And if he makes some of those saves, if he keeps us a 2-0 game, I think we're looking at a different role. But the Voodoos are finishing the shots. They're taking advantage of Dinsdale's kind of rough night, and they're really finishing their opportunities. And that's been kind of the big difference in this hockey game. And it's going to be tough for Hearst in the next 25, 26 minutes to try to come back into this game.
So 5:56 remaining in the second period. Some great tunes by the Sheepdogs, if you can hear. Sorry, I'm rocking out to the Sheepdogs anytime they're on. It's not yet Saturday night, but they have a great song for Saturday night. The feeling's all right. On the far side wall now, as we're back underway here at the Sportsplex, 5-0 Powassan leads. Shots on goal 27-15, if you can believe it. Powassan trying to get the puck out. They can't. It's kept in just briefly, though, as Fullerton's able to knock the puck up the ice. Strinchuluk now leaves it up for Smetham. Smetham with a shot from the high face-off dot. Dinsdale saw that one coming all the way and was able to stop that one up. So another stoppage here in an offensive zone face-off for Powassan.
Yeah, Smetham doing a really good job of gaining possession. But if you're Hearst there, you've got to clear that puck. These are the kind of turnovers that they've made in this game that have given a couple of opportunities for the Voodoos, and you really can't give that up. And if you look at the scoring opportunities between these two teams, Voodoos have definitely had a couple of more really solid shots on Dinsdale than they've given up on the defensive side.
Palfy couldn't get a good handle on it. Now Como in all alone. Como takes the shot. Flageau stopped Or rather, Como gets it past Flageau somehow. It looked like Flageau made the stop, and that'll make it worthwhile now for the Lumberjacks fans who made it all the way down from Hearst, as Hearst finds their way onto the scoreboard here in the second period.
Yeah, unfortunately for Flageau there, as Alex literally talked about how well he's played in this game, but he makes a mistake here as he gives up the puck, and it's, again, when you're going backwards versus forwards momentum, the forward's going to win basically every single time when you're starting at basically standstill, and unfortunately, Little gives it up, and now it's a 5-1 game, which is a step in the right direction for Hearst. But if you're the Voodoos here, it's all about shutting them down here in the next 5 minutes, keeping that 5-1 lead going into the final frame.
Matthew Como with his his ninth of the season, getting that one past Flageau. It looked like Flageau had it, and then Janicki saw it from the point. He reacted right away. Schillinglaw loses the handle on it, and now it's Janicki. Or rather, Como, the goal scorer, I should say. He gives it away to Thompson. Thompson couldn't get a good handle on it, so he wasn't off to the races. Janicki with the puck in his own zone, nearly gave it away to Long right in front of his goaltender. And now Palffy sends it down the ice. Risman tries to chip it up. It hits Palffy or Schillinglaw, and it goes out of play.
And who's right in the middle of it again was Schillinglaw, but Risman, he's been kind of that enforcer, that tough guy this period so far, and so far, nothing boiling over for temperatures too much, but yeah, Hearst getting back on the board here, 5-1. It's going to be very interesting to see if they can take some of this momentum and make it work, and the best thing that they can do is try to score one more before the end of this period, and if you're the Voodoos, it's all about shutting them down now and keeping the score as is.
Hearst with possession, gets it back to LaBelle. LaBelle sends it in. That one's going to be turned away there by Borketsky, or Borkowitz, I should say. I'm sorry if I butchered that one, which I totally did. Back to the point. It's going to be Thornley Hall. Knocked in behind the net. As now Risman looks to be, or that's going to be Lemke. As now another chance from the slot comes in, and the Lumberjacks can't get that one to go. Demers throwing his weight around. The Voodoos shot comes in on Flageau. And now Lemke with a big elbow. That one's going to be called. And now Lemke knocked to the ice as well.
And you think that he's probably going to be coincidentals now on that last hit.
Yeah, LaBelle, but for sure Lemke's going. And that was very obvious.
I hate this because Lemke decides to give him a shot, and he had a great chance at a breakaway there. And instead of playing the puck, he gets this nasty elbow for no reason, and that's just a play that I think you just can't make, honestly, if you're the Voodoos there. You've got to take that opportunity. Nobody was around you. You have speed. You take that opportunity on a perfect breakaway, and instead you let those emotions kind of take over, and unfortunately that's going to cost them. But it looks like LaBelle is going to the bench on the other side.
It might be 2 and a 10 for Lemke, though, because it was a hit to the head.
Yeah, and it was a nasty elbow. And again, just there's no need for that in that play. You're up 5-1. And sometimes, I get it, emotions are high, but sometimes you just got to temper yourself.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
Especially when there's that puck there and nobody's around.
Even though we're a home broadcast here for the Voodoos, and even for all the teams that we broadcast, of course there's going to be a little bit of bias towards the hometown team. But when we see something like that, that's just silly. Like, that was just, I don't know what he was thinking at all, Cameron Lemke. As, there's going to be 2 in the box, so I would imagine it's 2 and a 10. Yeah. So Lemke's going to sit till about the 13:36, the first whistle after 13:36 in the third period. But there is coincidental minors right now, each 2 minutes. There will be some 4-on-4 hockey, but my good, Lemke's going to be showing the gate, actually. So he's going to go. We'll have to see if he does come back in the third period, but
I think the worst thing about that
terrible.
still is the puck is still there, and it's a free breakaway that you kind of give away for no reason. And that's, I think, out of, obviously the hit wasn't clean. He's getting called accordingly, but it really just came down to there's no need for that. You had a perfect scoring opportunity, and you let your kind of emotions get in the way. And even worse for LaBelle. LaBelle obviously sticking up for his teammate there, taking that other penalty as well. But it's still just a kind of a sloppy play from both sides.
And even though he's taking it and getting a big hit here as we're back underway and the Voodoos win the puck down to their zone, even though he's standing up for, even though he's taking a penalty, I stand up for your teammate, 100%.
And there was some hitting, and there was a bunch of roughing going on, and Lemke was hit first, but sometimes you just got to understand when you got to take it and when you have to let it go. Yeah,
so it is 2 and a 10 for head contact to Cameron Lemke. So we should see him back in the third period. Wilkie to Little. Little sends the puck in. Shields goes after it. 3 minutes left here in the second period. Voodoos lead 5-1. Wilkie, cross ice to Service. Service back to Little, or rather Shields gets there first. Wilkie goes cross ice to Little. Little stops it up. He gets a hard hit there by Demers. And now it's back up to Service. Service skates the puck in. He has Shields with him. Shields is going to the net. He's taken down. No call coming on that one. Fullerton knocks it back in for Shields, who's playing right there with Janicki. Shields back in. They were looking for the tip there by Thompson. Thompson gets the puck back to Leotino, or rather Pichette picks off the pass. Pichette, cross ice to Demers on the near side. Long picks it up, and Long has some speed. Long stopping up, goes cross ice quickly. Leotino with the shot, and that one just missed the net. Long keeps the puck in. Not for long though, as now the Voodoos have it back in the neutral zone. Leotino skates the puck in, tries to go cross ice for Thompson, just out of his reach. Thompson sends the puck back around the end wall. Under 20 seconds left now on this 4-on-4 hockey. Under 2 minutes left in the second period. Powassan up 5-1. Borkowitz loses the handle on it to Gazic. Gazic gets it back quickly to his defenseman. And now Little with possession. Little loses it though to Klugerman. Klugerman blows the tire trying to gain in the zone. And that's to turn things back around. Borkowitz to Thornley Hall. Thornley Hall takes a shot. Fans on that. We're back to 5-on-5. And the Voodoos send the puck down into the Lumberjacks zone. Not with enough wheels though to go for icing. Hearst up the ice. Goes down, and Flageau has his hand up there for icing. So we will get an icing call here. And the Voodoos will get an offensive zone face-off here with 1:15 left in the second.
Well, for the rest of this period and the rest of the game, I think one of the keys for the Voodoos is going to be all about tempering your emotions here and not letting kind of that rough play and those kind of bad penalties like we saw with Lemke get in the way of what's happening. It's still a 4-goal lead, but we've seen how good Hearst is when it comes to scoring goals, and you don't want to take bad penalties, get into penalty trouble, get on the power penalty kill too often. So you got to make sure that you're making smart plays and not get into Hearst, who can maybe play a bit too rough sometimes.
Minute left here in the second period. McMillan behind the net gets it to Service. Back to McMillan. McMillan out front to Patrick. Patrick takes the shot. Now it's quickly out front. McMillan tried to bat it home. Dinsdale got a hold of that one and stops it up. Much better period here for the Lumberjacks, a much better period for Dinsdale as well, as he's only allowed the one goal.
Yeah, he's looked very solid, and you look at the one goal, it was kind of some issues with rebound control, but for the most part, he's making the saves that he wasn't making in that first period, which were shots kind of from the slot, from the circle area, and he's definitely been much better in the second period, but sometimes in that first period, scoring, getting 4 goals on you can be tough to claw your way out of.
Strenchaluk with possession on the near side wall, loses it. And now Harley goes cross ice as Hearst tries to get the puck back up. But Smetham now regains the zone for the Voodoos. Shields takes a shot. Dinsdale knocks that one down. And now on the far side wall, that's Tronchin battling for the puck. And it's cross ice now to Harley. Harley gains the red line and knocks it in on Flageau. Flageau's just going to get the bouncer into his glove. And looking like a good shortstop out there, stops that one.
Now, I find it very, very interesting. If you look at the last 2 games at home for the Voodoos, it's really been some guys who've been scoring that don't have a lot of goals on the year. It's a lot of guys who have under 10 goals. You look at Tucker Shields, kept off the score sheet in terms of goals in the last, and they've scored about 13 goals in that time. So it's a lot of really good secondary scoring from the Voodoos, which you got to be a big fan of as well.
Head coach Peter Goulet will be a fan of that for sure. 10 seconds left as the puck is dumped down into the Lumberjacks zone. 5 seconds as Hearst goes for one last gasp. Doesn't look like they'll get anything here, and the first 40 minutes of play will end with the Voodoos up 5-1 as we get ready for the third period here. And again, Ben, been a bit of a battle here through the first 40 minutes, especially in the second period.
Yeah, the second period, Hearst looked a lot better. They played better defense. They got more chances, including a goal on Fagel. And of course, if you look at the Voodoos, they looked a little bit sloppier, and the big key going into this third period is going to be, can they temper their own emotions down? Can they play very solid hockey for 20 minutes and hold on to this 4-goal lead and not kind of get into that very rough kind of game that Hearst might try to coerce them into?
Well, we'll have to see how that goes moving forward into the third period. For now, it's our second intermission, and we'll be back for the third period of hockey here on the front line after this.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts. Before we dive into this year, I mean, we've had you on a couple of times now, but I wanted to ask you, since we haven't had you on since the end, or since before the end of last year, you were here briefly towards the end of that last place finish team, the 1920 season. Compared to, and then what's it like, sitting out that whole entire year because of COVID? I mean, you did get some hockey into you, at least according to your elite prospects page, but you come up here and then you go from a last place team in the OHL to a top 4 finisher in the playoffs. What's that experience like?
It was honestly crazy. We kind of, we knew we were kind of building that. When we brought in a couple guys and we were building around that, we expected it to happen, but when it was actual reality, it was kind of crazy. Like we had a lot of fun. Going last year, like the group of guys we had, we really took advantage of the time we had together, and I thought we had a great group of guys that really had a lot of fun together. Even off the ice too. We really had good connections, and it really helped us on the ice as well, I thought.
With the media side of things, the first 2 rounds are kind of normal, but then you get to the Eastern Conference Finals and even the OHL Finals, and it's different because from the media side of things, there's eyes on the media side, there's eyes on this team, but then you have to go, instead of just going up to head coach Ryan Willihan after the game and talking to him, you have to go to a room and all this other stuff. From a player's side of things, is it a different beast when you reach that Final Four?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like at that time, like your guys are battling injuries, but you wouldn't even notice. Like guys are all business at that time. Like everyone's dialed in, everyone's focused on the task at hand. Like it's crazy how dialed in guys get at that time, but it's really impressive too.
For you yourself, I mean, going to your Tampa Bay Lightning camp and then playing hockey, that was a long season for you. How do you recover after such a long, almost calendar year of playing hockey?
I mean, you do your best. You take advantage of the time you get to recover. Taking advantage of the time to roll out or take that extra 5 minutes to stretch here and there. That stuff's huge, and it really pays off later on. So just trying to really take advantage of your time that you do get, and like I said, take advantage of that time.
Speaking of taking advantage of time, for somebody who's from, Florida and stuff, like, how often do you get home in a calendar year playing up in North Bay?
Not too much. I get home for Christmas during the season, and then that's about it during the season. So I know Christmas break. I really try to take advantage of the time I get with my family. They're a big part of my life, so really just spend the entire time I'm home with them.
How often does your family get up here to watch you play?
During COVID, they didn't come up at all due to some vaccine stuff, but they've come up a lot this year. They just came up actually for the last week and a half. They were up, and then they're going to come up for the American road trip. So it'll be nice to see them a lot more. And then I think my brother and my sister might get up here too for playoffs, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say whenever I'm waiting for Ryan Houlihan post game, there's always a lot of number 8 jerseys hanging out around there. So it's always good to see some support, even if it's not necessarily your family, but some support, right, when you're that far away from home.
Yeah, I like going out there and going to see everyone still support me, even if they're not family members. It's very nice. So, like I said, I love the people in the city. They're tremendous for us.
For you yourself, I mean, this is your overage season. What does that mean to you, knowing that this is your last go around in the OHL?
I mean, I'm very fortunate to be in the position I'm in. Obviously, to be playing on this team. I want to win a championship. I'm all in for that. And I think that's what we all have our eyes focused on here. So that's at the end of the day, that's what I'm here to do.
For you, also yourself personally, last year and this year, you're wearing a letter on your jersey. How special is that to look down and see that every single night?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot to me to be a leader on this team. We have a really good group of leaders, and I think we take a lot of pride in that. And we try to do a good job leading this team. So we hope it pays off and it shows to everyone else.
All right, I got a bit of a silly question for you here, just because anybody who's a Battalion fan who's played the new NHL game, obviously has seen your mugshot on the game, and your hair's a little bit wild. Did you know that was going to be what the lasting impression was from you on Tampa Bay Lightning camp when they took that picture?
No, I didn't, but all the boys loved that hair, so I didn't. I loved it too. I might bring it back for playoffs. You'll see. I'm starting to grow it out a little bit now, so we'll see what happens.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
And we welcome you back into the Powassan Sportsplex here as we get ready for the third period between the Voodoos and the Lumberjacks. It is 5-1 in favor of Powassan, and a big help with that is our player to watch for the Voodoos. Let's take a look at how our players to watch have done as a whole.
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike the FA.
Well, Ben, our player to watch for the Voodoos.
Meals are a special time for
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike the FA.
Well, at this point, Mike the Financial Advisor owes us money because now we're giving away things for free.
Where's Ben Long?
Yeah, No, hey, that's me. Drew's doing a pretty good job.
One mistake.
One
That's all it
mistake.
takes.
We're counting, though. You're fired. Get out of here. Anyways, Caden Long, our player to watch for the Powassan Voodoos, he's netted a goal. We thought he netted two, but he netted one.
Yeah, Longs looks really solid. He's even had a couple of opportunities in that second period as well to add to that lead. And what a great job that he's done as we kind of got baited a little bit in that first goal.
Yeah.
But no, Long, and his shot looked very, very solid as well. And you got to be very happy for Caden Long. Again, 6 points in 3 games. Can't really say too much about that.
Zach Demir's a little bit quiet on the score sheet, but for the most part, when it comes to this Hearst Lumberjacks squad, outside of one goal, they have been quiet on the score sheet as we get ready here for the final frame. Hearst and their road blacks are going left to right. Voodoos and their home whites going right to left here in this third period. Alex Little has the puck. Up to Strenchluck, gives it to Smetham. Cameron Lemke is in the box once again, so he'll sit out till about the first whistle after 13:30 here in this period. For getting 2 and a 10 for head contact in the second period. Klugerman loses it to Little. Little knocks it up the ice, but Janicki gets to it first. And now Strenchluck gets in the neutral zone. Up to Smetham. Smetham tried to get the puck to Patrick. He was well out of reach of him, and now Hearst picks up the puck again. Klugerman with it. Looks to go into the Voodoos zone. Does. On the near side corner, gets it to Como, the goal scorer. Back to Patterson. Patterson looking for Klugerman in the slot. And that pass was stopped by the Voodoos. High stick stops it in the neutral zone. And then Patterson's just going to whack at it. So that'll gain a stoppage here, 53 seconds into the third period.
Yeah, we know the key for the Voodoos here in this third period with a 4-goal lead is just going to be playing a very solid defensive game, and we've seen them play very well defensively here. Had a couple of times in the second period where they kind of gave up a couple of opportunities, but for the most part they played very solid, and they're going to have to continue it. And the big thing is staying away from those bad penalties, and if stuff starts getting rough, don't let your emotions take over and and get yourself in penalty trouble.
Puck sent down the ice. Flageau plays it. Ricci knocked hard into the boards. No call, or there is a call coming on that one. And now the Voodoos will find themselves going to the man advantage here shortly as Risman plays the puck up to McMillan. Just playing keep away now from Hearst as they nearly put the puck in their own net, but thankfully it went across the zone, and Hearst does pick up the puck. So Flageau will have to get back into his net, but Powassan is going to the man advantage here, as it looks like Pichette going to the box.
Yeah, and the big thing, and these are, again, you can't be taking penalties if you're Hearst. You need to find 4 goals in the next 18:38, and this is going to kill off, unless you get a shorthanded one here, it's going to kill off another 2 minutes from the clock. And if you're the Voodoos, it's kind of like playing in the NFL a bit, where it's all about clock management at this point. And whatever you can do to kill minutes off that clock is what you got to do.
Palfy's going to go as well. So it looks like the Voodoos are going to get a 2-minute 5-on-3 here, as I think Palfy's going to go for unsportsmanlike.
Unless he somehow got a misconduct, because there's
maybe
4
he did.
Hearst out there
he
right
got
now.
a misconduct for sure. We'll have to see what the announcement is here momentarily. And the Voodoos start off the power play in the Lumberjacks zone. Service loses his stick, and then he's knocked down. And quickly, Gazic comes in, tried to pick the top corner, couldn't get it to go. And we'll get another stoppage here. But Service had his stick completely yanked and thrown out of his hands, and no call came on that one.
I have no idea what happened there. That looked over, and Service's stick was about 20 feet in the air. And I don't know if he was maybe talking to the officials after that one, but...
Well, with the cost of lumber nowadays...
And the big thing, too, is if that didn't happen, he would have had a great opportunity in front of the net as well, as there was a great scoring chance on Dindale.
Gazic loses the handle on it, and then Truncheon couldn't get to it, so Gazic has to go after it. Now battling for it behind his net with Truncheon. Gazic now through the neutral zone, goes cross ice. Strinchuluk looking out front, can't get it to go. Back to Liatino at the point. Liatino. Strinchuluk. Back to Liatino. Liatino leaves it for number 23 and gets it back in for Shields. Shields to Gazic. Cross ice to Strinchuluk, takes the shot, and that one floated in. And now the Lumberjacks have a 2-on-1. Coming in. Looking for the pass to Truncheon. It's blocked by Flageau. Gazic nearly took out his goaltender and the post, but it stays on, and play continues. Service now with the puck. So the penalties are finally being called. So Thornley Hall for 2 minutes for tripping. And now Wilkie through the neutral zone. 10-minute misconduct for Palfy. So there it is. Adam Morrell didn't like what he had to say, as now we have another power play or penalty coming to the Lumberjacks. So the Voodoos will get their 5-on-3. There it is right there. They have under a minute left on the first man advantage, but now it will be some more penalty trouble here for the Lumberjacks.
It looks like it's going to be a high sticking call there, and it's very interesting to see where he got the unsportsmanlike. Obviously on a tripping, this wasn't an automatic one, so it must have been something that he said on his way to the bench as Morton goes off for high sticking, and now I'm not sure if they can fit any more people in that penalty box.
Well, I can tell you right now, Adam Morrell, the referee that gave the unsportsmanlike call, he's as quick as a whip when it comes to chirping right back.
Yeah.
So I'm sure whatever he heard was less than impressed with, for sure.
Yeah, and again, we talk about senseless penalties, and Hearst getting themselves into trouble a couple of times in this game.
Wilkie, cross ice, back to Wilkie, back to Little. Little takes the shot. Dinsdale turns that one aside. And now we get another stoppage here.
And the thing that's unfortunate about this, too, is like, yeah, you're down by 4 goals, but again, this is a Hearst team that can put the puck in the net. So you do, by getting into these penalty troubles, by kind of giving into your emotions here, what's happening is you're kind of not letting yourself get back into the game at all, and it's kind of giving the Voodoos an easy victory in a way in this third period.
Well, the Voodoos win the face-off so well that it's down to Cannon Flageau. So Morton is getting high sticking for sure. And now it looks like the first penalty is going to be up here soon as Patrick gains the zone. Patrick to Wilkie. Wilkie takes a quick shot. Dinsdale knocks that one aside. Back to Little. Little on the near side wall to Patrick. He is passed to Wilkie. Can't find him as Hearst picks that one off. And now that's Basiluk. Basiluk loses that. So Powassan still on the man advantage for over a minute. And gives it to Wilkie behind his net as he waits for a line change here for his troops in front of him. Still over a minute. Wilkie up to service. Service through the neutral zone. Leaves it and then chases after it. Now he's stuck in the corner battling for it. Sends it behind the net. Hearst gets to it first. And now the Lumberjacks have numbers going the other way. Demers gains the zone. Looks out front, can't get it to go. As now there's going to be a penalty to Strinchuluk, who knocked down the Hearst player right in front. That was Thornley Hall. And that'll nullify the rest of the power play for the Voodoos as it was knocked into Flageau's net.
Well, we talk again, senseless penalties, and this is kind of something that's happening in this first almost 5 minutes of the third period, and another one that just doesn't need to be made there by Powassan. And again, you don't want to give Hearst any chance to get into them. You want to let them, they're getting into penalty trouble. They're kind of hurting themselves in a way, and you don't want to kind of let them get back into this game at any point whatsoever. And 15 minutes is still a long time to find 4 goals.
Shields losing the draw. It's back to the point. And now Shields is going to get it in the far side corner. Stopping up. Under a minute left before Hearst gets a shortened power play. And now it's Risman through the neutral zone. Risman, his clearing attempt hits the roof. And Tyson Risman, again, a battalion prospect, has played a couple of games with the troops this year as well. But because of his age and because of the depth chart of the blue line of the battalion, he finds himself plying his trade in Powassan this year. Even though not too far, he's not from too far away. He got some games in last year with the Sudbury Cubs, his hometown team.
Yeah, it's hard enough for Turley to get into those games, let alone trying to get somebody from kind of your farm system as well. So that could change with Avery Winslow being an overager this year.
Shot from the point is knocked aside and wide as it was tipped. Risman trying to skate through a hook. Can't get it. No call coming on that one as we're back now with a minute 20 on the man advantage for Hearst. Shillinglaw. The Thornley Hall takes a shot, kicked away by Flageau, and the rebound's knocked down the ice by Risman. Dinsdale behind his net. Leaves it for Shillinglaw. Shillinglaw leaves it up for his teammate. And now Hearst sets things up. Service, the high man for Powassan, providing pressure on Klugerman as he sends the puck back into his own zone. And now, getting the zone, that was a tight shot there by Pichette. His shot hit the glass, came out to the neutral zone, and Demers regroups with it. Demers up to Borkowitz. Sends the puck back in. Cross ice. Back to the point for Demers. Quick shot from Pichette is blocked by Shields. And now Shields gets the puck out as he's hauled down. No call coming on that one. Shields loses the puck, and now Hearst has another great chance here. Although, that was Borkowitz who fanned on that one. 18 seconds left. Pichette's shot is blocked in front of the net by Wilkie. He didn't know where the puck went. And now Klugerman goes for a skate again. Klugerman to Borkowitz. Borkowitz back to the point for Demers. 5 seconds on the man advantage. Back to Pichette. Pichette takes another shot. Flageau turns that one aside. And we're back to 5-on-5 hockey here for the Voodoos as Strinchluck is over the boards. Wilkie plays around to Little. To Strinchluck. Strinchluck just lifts it out to the neutral zone, and the Voodoos go for a wholesale change. Janicki sends it up ice quickly to Klugerman. Klugerman loses the handle on it. Thompson picks that one up and sends it back out to the neutral zone for Janicki. Janicki has the puck. Slowly retreats into his own zone. 13 minutes left here in the third period. The Voodoos hold on to a 5-1 lead. And now behind their net, the Lumberjacks set things up. Up the ice quickly, Liatino gets a handle on that one, stops that one from going very far. Now Kelly chases after the puck. Kelly behind the Lumberjacks net. Still holds on to it somehow. And now he loses the handle on it now. Hearst tried to clear it out, couldn't get it to go. And now Tronchen has it in his own zone. Sends it behind his net to Janicki. Janicki up the ice slowly. Decides that he doesn't like what he sees and turns back around into his own zone. Now, still doesn't like what he sees and turns right back around into his own zone. Finally up to Tronchen. He loses to it, maybe with good reason, I guess, for Janicki, as now the Voodoos are all over the puck. Now, once again, Janicki up to Basiluk. Basiluk goes cross ice to Tronchen. Tronchen Goes cross ice to the near side. Can't get it to go. Liatino now plays the puck back up to Strenchuluk. Strenchuluk sends it into the neutrals, or into the middle of the ice. And Morton picks it up. Morton takes a shot. Flageau gets it off his shoulder and knocks it aside. Now it's back to Thornley Hall. And now we're going to get another penalty here. Looks like Hearst is going to be penalized once again with 11:42 here left in the third period. 32 to 23. Opposite numbers, sorry. Math is hard sometimes. Not that I'm even adding or subtracting.
Well,
I'm a drummer. I can only count to 4.
Well, it looks like another penalty trouble here for Hearst. Both teams finding themselves in the penalty box quite often, as it'll be another 2-minute opportunity for the Voodoos to kill off yet more time from this clock. If they can kill this off, there'll be less than 10 minutes for Hearst to try to find 4 goals. And one thing that the Powassan Voodoos have done very good this game is defense in their own zone, not giving a lot of opportunities for Hearst to get a lot of good opportunities on Flageau.
Wilkie tries to play it to Little. Good stick there by Minico. Knocks that one aside. Voodoos playing in their own zone here on the power play. Gets it up to O'Brien. O'Brien stops up, decides to go cross ice, gives it away to Hearst. And now Hearst had the numbers but couldn't get anything going. Patrick picks it up. Patrick to Wilkie. Wilkie behind his net slows things down. Still over a minute left on the man advantage for the Voodoos to Smetham. Smetham to Little.
6, Mason Basilak, 2 minutes for slashing.
So Basilak gets 2 minutes for slashing as the penalty. Liatino playing with the puck in neutral zone. Can't get any zone time here, as we're now just under a minute left on the man advantage as he plays the puck right back to behind his net. Liatino over to Service. Service up to Shields. Shields goes cross ice, and Gazic picks it up. Gazic on the far side corner. Loses the puck in the skates of the ref. Service picks it up, though, and goes cross ice to Strenchuluk. He couldn't get a handle on it. Now Service takes a shot, and Dinsdale knocks that one down and covers it up.
Well, yeah, you talked about it. Not a lot of offensive zone time there for the Voodoos, as the Lumberjacks doing a really good job keeping them in their own zone with good forechecking pressure. But again, if you're the Voodoos, it's not about scoring goals at this point. It's about killing time off the clock, and the more you can do that, the higher your chances are of coming away with a victory. And again, a very good chance that the Voodoos will come away 3 points now behind the Lumberjacks at the end of this game.
And those will be a big 3 points as we look for playoff seeding between the top 3 teams. As we said, it's a 3-team race here in the East. It's all about seeding for the playoffs now between Timmins, Hearst, and Powassan. Back to the point. Liatino takes a shot. That one's knocked wide. And now the puck back to the point. Gazic keeps it in. Shields goes cross ice. They can't get that pass to go. And now Hearst loses it as they tried to gain the Voodoo zone to Liatino. Liatino up the ice quickly to Lemke, or McMillan. No, Lemke rather. He is back out on the ice. I'm losing my numbers here. Liatino sends the puck back in. Strenchuluk goes after it. And the Voodoos are going to see another power play go here without a goal, as Hearst is going to get back up to 5-on-5. Klugerman battling with Risman. Now to Kelly. Kelly tries to chip the puck up to Lemke. Lemke loses it. Janicki takes a shot well wide of the net. And now on the far side wall, the puck is knocked around and Lemke picks it up before sending it down the ice and sending his boys off for a change. Kelly giving pressure to Hearst. And now it's up to Pichette. Pichette to Demers. Demers takes a shot. It's off the skates of Risman and goes wide. Now it's to Gazic. Janicki takes another shot well wide of the net to Thompson. Thompson leaves it for Risman. Risman leading the rush, sends the puck in deep on the backhand and then has to retreat. A little bit of a rush there for the defenseman. Demers loses his pass over to Risman. Now he does get in, and it's behind Flageau, and that one's going to find the back of the net, as no one seemed to know where the puck was on that one and found its way in behind Flageau. It's now a 5-2 game, and the Lumberjacks fans are trying to come alive here in Powassan.
Yeah, and that's just one where Flageau just can't quite find the puck, and that's a pretty easy tip in there. for Hearst, but it's one of those that's a little too late, it seems. With 8:40 to go, they still find themselves down by 3. And we talked about the Voodoos with their opportunity on the power play. They've struggled without no goals so far. Against French River, 1 for 7. So their power play has been an issue with them getting extra goals, and still lots of time here up by 3.
Little sends the puck in on Dinsdale, and he covers that one up. The goal is scored by Tyler Borkowitz. That's his 4th of the season. He has 11 points in 11 games played so far for the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, and that's as it looks like we're going to our
mid-period break. And with that being said, we'll be back on the other side of this. Powassan has a 5-2 lead, 3-goal cushion here with 8 minutes left in the third period.
This period is brought to you by Canada Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Visit canadacollege.ca/perks for more information.
Tonight's 3 Stars is brought to you by Dave's Automotive Services, 411 Airport Road in North Bay. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect from Dave's.
5-3, Powassan leads here in the third period. 20 seconds left on this little timeout as we get to our mid-period break. And the Voodoos, again, being scored on Hearst has scored 2 unanswered so far.
Yeah, they've looked interesting. If you look at that last goal, a little bit of luck. Flageau not able to find the puck and it kind of being out of his net a little bit. Kind of an easy dump in there. And really what this game has come down to is the Voodoo come out to a very early start. They go out 4-0. They find the back of the net. Dinsdale's not able to kind of settle down like he has in the last 2 periods. But it was almost like Hearst, they just let too many goals in early in the period, and the Voodoos are too good of a defensive team. They've not given a lot of opportunities. And again, Flagell, 23 saves on 25 shots. Has had a pretty good day, and a little bit of bad luck on that second goal.
Little plays the puck off the draw cross ice. Smetham picks it up in the far side corner before losing that one in the feet of the referee on the far side. Now it's in a scrum, and Demers plays it around to his defenseman Janicki. Pochette up the ice quickly to Borkowitz, who just scored the second goal for Hearst. 8 minutes left here in the third period. Powassan with a 3-goal cushion. Shots 34-25. Smetham knocks the puck down the ice, but Janicki gets to it first. Crisp pass there up to Pochette. Pochette with Demers. Demers and Leotino battle for it. Now goes cross ice. Borkowitz, and then his shot is blocked by Thornley Hall. Now going the other way, that's Borkowitz. Borkowitz up the ice to Pochette. Pochette knocked off the puck, and now Little picks it up. Little up the ice quickly to McMillan. McMillan tried to knock it from his skate, and now it's Patrick with the shot. He missed the net. Over to Pochette. Pochette's pass up the ice finds nobody, and Fullerton sends it right back down the ice. 7 minutes remain here in this third period. A little bit of a tighter third period than I think the Voodoos anticipated. But now Hearst stopping things up behind their net. Going down the ice, that's Como. And that would have been offside there for Hearst, so they have to tag up. And now, Leotino loses it to Tronchen. Tronchen goes cross ice. Hearst sends that one in. Joe gets it up high. Before it falls down, he's able to cover the puck up quickly.
And we've seen flashes of what Hearst is able to do, as we've seen pretty good defense. Dinsdale starting to become a lot more comfortable in net, as he's really kind of shut the door since giving up that 5th goal in the second period. And right now for the Voodoos, it's one of those things where thankfully, because they get off to such an early lead, and Hearst kind of hurts themselves on the power play. Even if Hearst comes out in the next 6.5 minutes, plays really good hockey, it's going to be tough for them to find the back of the net 3 more times.
So Joe has played well, but as a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, we know that no lead is safe. So we'll have to see how things go here. Risman, cross ice to Gazic. Gazic tries a nifty little move, can't get past Janicki. Now Janicki back to the point. Ricci takes the shot. And it's O'Brien battling for it. O'Brien takes another shot. It's kicked away. Janicki has the puck behind the net. Tries to get it up. They can't get it out. Risman now to Kelly. Once again, can't get that one to go. Lemke sends it back in. Risman going after it. Now going down the ice is the Lumberjacks. Lumberjacks score! And there it is. It's even tighter now. And the Voodoos are up 5-3 here as the Lumberjacks score a late one.
Yeah, we talked about how the Lumberjacks are playing a much better period. That was probably the best goal that they've scored this game in terms of that being a pure goal scorer right by Flageau. And the reality is now the Voodoos, like they had such a good handle on this period in the first 10 minutes, and now the wheel's starting to come off a little bit. And that's what we said, like even 4 goals, it's not, with this team, they have the ability to score it, and they're staying out of penalty trouble for Hearst. They're getting a lot of good offensive pressure, and now all of a sudden they're starting to find some holes in Flageau, and Dinsdale's doing what he needs to do to keep this game as tight as possible.
That's Mason Sfarich who got the goal. That's his 19th of the season. So we'll have to see if Hearst has the legs in them to keep this going. They've now scored 3 unanswered, and now Voodoos fans looking for a call there aren't going to get one. As the puck comes in, Flageau knocks that one aside.
I think it's very important for Flageau now to be the just kind of stop the play. Don't give Hearst a lot of opportunities to get some momentum, and if that puck comes near you, I think you just got to stop. You just got to put your glove on it and stop it there. I think it does a good job. Again, trying to keep the momentum away from Hearst as they've gotten now another 3 unanswered goals so far, and it's still 5:42. Lots of time left in this game.
5:42, like you said, 35-28 are the shots on goal. Puck on the far side as a Voodoo stick finds itself on the ice. Little battling for it, but it comes up to Schillinglaw. Schillinglaw takes a wide shot. Klugerman is going to find himself with the puck on the far side. Lots of yelling from the gallery here. Another shot. Well wide off the glass and out of play. 5:16 left, and as I said, much tighter period than I'm sure the Voodoos anticipated.
Yeah, and Hearst is really putting on the pressure. Kudos to them as, you know, they have the ice starting to tilt in their favor quite a bit, and they are taking advantage of the Voodoos, who just haven't, they've been keeping those high-scoring opportunities away, but all Hearst has to do is try to throw the puck at the net and try and get a favorable bounce at this point. And if you're Powassan, you do not want to let that 4th goal in unless there's less than a minute to go realistically. But at this point, it's trying to kill it down, wait till you get an empty net opportunity, and keep this a 5-3 game for as long as possible.
Shot from the point, misses the net. Hearst has all the momentum on their side right now, as they have for much of the period. We'll have to keep an eye on when Dinsdale leaves the net, as we've reached the 5-minute mark, and as Patrick Waugh, when he was the coach of the Colorado Avalanche, proved any time is a good time for an empty net.
Yeah.
Whether or not I agree with him, or most of the NHL does, that's to be debated. Janicki behind his net, 4:45 left in the 3rd period. Now it's Demers. Demers goes for a skate into the Voodoo zone. His shot on net is blocked by Little. And now Service is plastered to the boards by Basiluk, and now Little tries to gain positioning on Demers as he's held up. Cross ice to the point. Good stick there by McMillan, and it's sent back in wide for Borkowitz. Now Dinsdale does go for the extra man. So Janicki takes a shot. Big rebound out front. Is turned away by the Voodoos defense. Patrick sticks his man against the wall. And now Hearst with the extra man gets the puck back to the point. They can't keep it in though. Pichette with the extra man. 6-on-5 here for Hearst with 4 minutes left. Sends the puck in. And you just have to think, as another shot from in tight is turned away by Flageau. Demers to Schillinglaw. Another shot turned away by Flageau, and you can see him behind the net clapping his hands. I can tell you right now, General Manager Chris Dawson is getting a little antsy.
Well, we know Chris personally, and you can tell, just imagine what he's saying in his head, or most likely aloud. But I think I love this play here from Hearst to pull their goalie that early, and you might say why? It's 4 minutes left in the game, but they're down by 2. If you can they have all the momentum right now. If you can find another goal, you're now going to have 3+ minutes to try to find that tying goal. So I think it's smart for them to pull it earlier on than maybe most people would think. And if you're Powassan, it's just trying to find that empty net right now and kind of ice this game.
Fullerton battling for the puck along with Smetham. Now it's on the far side for Palffy. Palffy gets to the puck. It's back to Demers at the point. Demers winds up, takes a shot, blocked by Strinchuluk. Now it's back out front, and Shields gets to it. Gives it over to Smetham. Smetham sends the puck down the ice. No icing as they got to the red line, and they also missed the net. Demers up to Palffy. Palffy backhands it in, and now they're going to chase after it. That's Farich, the most recent goal scorer here for Hearst. 3 minutes left here in this third period. 5-3 Powassan leads. And now the puck finds its way out. Fullerton with some time dumps the puck out of the zone. Demers with it in his own zone. Just missed Smetham's stick. Klugerman waits to gain the zone. Sends it in for Palfy. Palfy, his pass right back into his own zone, so there will be no icing against the Voodoos. Demers behind his net sends it around the end boards to Klugerman. Klugerman with the position, or with the puck, gets it up to Como. Como stops at the blue line, and then they send it across the ice for Wilkie. Wilkie floats that one out. It's somehow kept in, or rather hand pass is called, but it was kept in on a good effort there by the Lumberjacks. But a last hand pass with 2:29 left.
Yeah, and it's interesting. The Voodoos played such a good 50 minutes, and then the last, but you know what? A hockey game is 60 minutes long.
Yep.
And what we've seen from Hearst is really the kind of team that they are in these last 10 minutes is they find 2 more goals. They put so much pressure on the Voodoos in the last 2 or 3 minutes, and you gotta really give it to Hearst. As they call a timeout here, but they're really trying to push this. And look, this is a team that they could see in the semifinals, and they're going to see them later on in the playoffs potentially. And Hearst is showing you why they're such a good team this year.
As it stands right now, with Hearst occupying the 2nd seed, Powassan occupying the 3rd seed, that would be the first round matchup with home ice going to Hearst, as it was last year. Timmins would await the winner of the 4-5 series, so it would be 4-5, which I believe is French River and Cochrane right now. They would have to play a best of 3, and then they would be awarded with playing Timmins. Congrats, you won. Now play the Rock. And then it would be Powassan and Hearst battling it out in the first round if things finish up today. If the Voodoos get the 3-point mark and eventually pass the Lumberjacks, the Voodoos would host the series, of course, with home ice. So a lot on the line here as the season. There's a lot of interesting storylines to come out of the back half of this NOJHL season here, as the Voodoos win the puck back into their defense, send the puck down the ice, just float it down, so no icing. Janicki with it. 2:20 left here in this third period. To Demers. Demers slowing things down. Looks to go up ice. Flips it into the Voodoos zone over Little's head. Lemke gets it back to the point, but no further as Demers keeps it in. Now Gazic is going to flip it up and out. Lemke tries to get it to go cross ice to O'Brien, who would have had a wide open net. Can't get it though, and now Klugerman goes the other way and dumps it in. Puck bounces out right in front of Flageau. He's just going to get his blocker on it. Can't get a hold of it though, as it's back to the near side half wall. Demers sends it on net, and Flageau turns that one aside. Now it's Gazic who just floats that one down the ice, and O'Brien is going to be in a foot race with Pichette. Pichette knocks him down, or off the puck, and then they send it behind their net. 1:30 left here in this third period. An exciting end in this battle between these two teams here. Powassan currently leads 5-3, and Hearst has really closed the gap on the shot clock, 35-32 in favor of the Voodoos. Liatino battling it out with a scrum behind the net. A few bodies in there. The Voodoos just trying to keep the puck to the perimeter as much as they can at this point. Big body or battle there as the Voodoos bench likes what they see. Minute left here as we're into the final minute finally of this period. Battling back to the point for Demers. Demers with the puck goes cross ice to Janicki. Janicki back to Demers. It hops over his stick, and now Smetham gets a chance at the open net, and he scores! Reese Smetham ices it here for the Voodoos with his 16th of the season.
Well, Hearst did a great job of not allowing the Voodoos any opportunities at that empty net in the last 2-3 minutes. And finally, when there's pretty much not a lot of hope left, down by 2 with 44.5 to go, it's Smithams who finds the empty net to give that, basically ice this game at 6-3. But if you're Hearst, you got to be very happy with how you played in the final 10 minutes. But you look back at those early goals that Dinsdale let in and that you as a team gave up, and that's the difference maker in this game.
Yeah, Dinsdale didn't have it right off the hop, but he has been solid the rest of the way here with 30 seconds remaining still. Dinsdale remaining in his net this time. And now LaBelle with the puck in his own zone. LaBelle up the ice quickly. That's going to be turned aside. And Hearst is going to turn it back into their own zone for Harley. Harley cross ice to LaBelle. 15 seconds remain. LaBelle sends the puck, or tries to send the puck into the Voodoos zone. Now right in front of us here, we're going to see a bit of a shot there. O'Brien on the bell. And that's going to do it here. The Voodoos are going to skate away with a very important 2 wins here against the Hearst Lumberjacks on this Friday night at the Powassan Sportsplex. The Voodoos on a bit of a winning streak as well. Big 2 points here, 6-3 victory. And my goodness, the Voodoos really gutted it out there in the final 10 minutes.
I'm sure Chris Dawson, GM, was able to get a nice sigh of relief there. But
had a few more gray hairs to the head there, Chris.
Yeah, and honestly, though, with Hearst, they kind of shot themselves in the foot with giving up 4 goals in that first period. And if that didn't happen, I think we'd be looking right now at a much, much closer game.
Well, we'll get ready for our 3 Stars presentation here on the front line.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, and keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Tonight's 3 Stars is brought to you by Dave's Automotive Services, 411 Airport Road in North Bay. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect from Dave's.
Well, again, a big 6-3 victory for the Powassan Voodoos. And Ben, who are our 3 stars of the game?
Well, third star goes to Matthew Comeau of the Hearst Lumberjacks. Second star will be picked up by Chase Thompson for Powassan, and finally Ryan Patrick picking up the number 1 star.
Yeah, Matthew Comeau had the first goal for the Hearst Lumberjacks, and then good solid games. Patrick got the first goal here tonight as well, and Thompson, of course, always a good game. Since his acquisition from the French River Rapids, if you look at his point totals for French River versus Powassan, he's really taken off since donning his hometown green and white here for the Voodoos, as opposed to playing in Noelville for the Rapids. So, exciting game here. I mean, a little bit tighter than we anticipated after being up 5-0 through the first half of the game. And then the Voodoos, or Lumberjacks, come in and score 3 straight before the Voodoos get an empty netter.
Yeah, it was kind of a game where obviously Powassan goes up 4-0 in the first period. You're like, oh, here we go again, right, with the Greater Sudbury game last week. But Hearst decided to turn it on in the last 10 minutes. They scored 3 unanswered, 1 in the second, 2 more at the end of the third period. And it just really was a game that was much tighter than it needed to be. Powassan not playing great in the defensive zone late in the game, and they nearly coughed it up. But if you're Hearst, you got to say, great last part of the game, but we didn't play a great 50 minutes beforehand, and definitely not in that first period. When you dig yourself into that much of a hole, it's very hard to get out of.
All right, with that being said, our next broadcast will be tomorrow night as the U18 Trappers take on the Kapuskasing Flyers from Memorial Gardens. Should be an exciting one. That broadcast will start at 7:20 p.m. And for this one, I'm Courtney Kenny. He's Ben Sargent. Producer is Drew Ferris. And our cameraman for the Hockey TV endeavors is Mike Brown. As always, keep your eye on the front line.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.